both around sustainability, and I said I thought that would be a very good idea, and so Presidio was created. But Presidio is more than just a business school. It is also a school of public policy. We offer an MPA, Masters of Public Policy, as well as a Masters of Business Administration. The next presentation will demonstrate why. There are many businesses that can make an enormous difference in bringing sustainability to the world, but they can't quite make it without good public policy. I give you Thomas Fisher and Power On.
T-Bone! Woo!
August 14th, 2003, a tree fell on some power lines in suburban Cleveland, causing systematic failure and knocking out half of the eastern seaboard. You can see how large the area was affected, and imagine the national security risk and economic loss this posed. This was not a terrorist attack, it was not nuclear meltdown, it was not anything kind of like a resource or anything like that. This was a tree. Terrorists are much smarter than trees. This is the vulnerable state of our energy infrastructure system as it is today. Addressing this problem, though, also means we need to address how we get power to the grid and what resources we use to get it there. Unfortunately, the U.S. has been dragging its feet on both issues. The answer lies in manufacturing and delivering cleaner energy for more stable systems. Most recently, the U.S. Secretary of Energy claimed that we will be missing out on a great opportunity if we don't act soon. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Thomas Fisher. I am the founder and CEO of Power On, Distributed Generation Collective. We're an energy innovator and leader, and our revolutionary system will help deliver power to communities in a new way. Our business model is simple. Power On will contract with businesses that want to install distributed generation on site, like solar PV, wind, or fuel cell, but don't want to front the cost for the equipment itself. Power On will then also use economies of scale to purchase that equipment and install it on site. Those facilities will have to be in close proximity to one another, using the same electrical substation. We will also front the cost for any of the inputs that go into that equipment, such as biomethane or natural gas. Once the equipment is up and online and in operation, we will feed the power back onto the grid using a feed-in tariff that is yet to be established. A corresponding revenue will be fed back to the collective, and a portion of that will be fed back to members as a royalty. The benefits to Power On are amazing. It's a baseload power because it's the fuel cells that are powering the whole thing, supplemented by solar and wind. This means we don't have to rely on coal as much to obtain our energy. It's also resource adequate, which is basically a valuable planning reserve margin for demand obligations. It's locally supplied power, so it means we mitigate any risks like we saw on the East Coast in 2003. It's also a cleaner mixture. And once we start using biomethane instead of natural gas, that's just going to get even cleaner. Overall, though, Power On will help revolutionize energy delivery systems, free up bottlenecks, and help transform the way we deliver and use power today. The financial benefits of Power On are also quite positive. We have an upfront capital cost of $118 million, and we will obtain revenue in the first year of operation. We have a payback in 5.27 years, a project internal rate of return of 14.8%, and a total net present value for the project of $25.7 million. There is one catch to this fantastic story, though. We need a 35-cent feed-in tariff to make this all worthwhile. We need a resource-agnostic yet aggressive carbon-reducing mixture feed-in tariff that will allow for differing distributed generation sources over time. By resource-agnostic, we mean not paying the energy based on the technology type, such as solar or wind. That said, let's take a look at 3 different regions and their tariffs right now, under solar alone. A very reliable source from the THIC Coalition recently told me that in California, the one that's going to be implemented here is going to be in the 16 to 25 cent range. And while this is wonderful and it does support the development of a specific renewable energy, it cannot be considered baseload, as it only works when the sun is shining or the wind is blowing, nor can it be considered as resource adequate. Now, let's take a look at Germany and Switzerland. Germany has a 38 to 52 cent feed-in tariff under solar, and the Swiss have a 49 to 91 cent feed-in tariff under solar. So that said, looking at those three regions, who's more determined to make progressive choices for their energy future? This lack in U.S. policy leads to lack in clean tech investment, and the U.S. falls further and further behind. Meanwhile, the companies are setting up shop here because we can't get our act together on U.S. policy. The question is, China offers tremendous incentives right now for reducing greenhouse gas emissions, producing cleaner energy, and currently leads in clean tech investment. The question is, for Americans, do we all want to be more reliant upon Chinese energy and innovation for the 21st century? I don't think so. We need to act soon, and we need to do something to make energy innovation independence an American reality. This is precisely why this issue is so important for Presidio to be aware of as we stagnate on energy policy. MBA students or business students, this can work, and the model, value chain, and business numbers are there for this to be successful. Policy students, we need aggressive yet sustainable policy solutions that allow for market-driven solutions over time. Power On is a needed business in California. It can deliver cleaner energy systems, free up bottlenecks, and put energy back in the hands of producers and businesses where supply is needed. However, it cannot work unless we don't have favorable U.S. policy in place to help it succeed. We cannot allow Secretary Chu's prediction to come to pass. We have to do everything we can to allow for sensible policy to be implemented here in the United States to allow for those businesses to flourish. Indeed, it's the only way to make the world of tomorrow a reality today. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Good evening.